Recording. Okay, guys, please keep yourself mute. Okay, so it will not be one kind of disturbance, and yeah, definitely we are going to provide you all answers whatever you have. Okay, so let's proceed further. Okay, so what exactly I discussed yesterday, who are new here, they can have a one very good reminder here. So yesterday I told him, like, here if you see that employee class is here we having. Okay, so what exactly we are doing, we are trying to create couple of classes as part of single Java file. We should not do that. We should have at least one Java file which should have only one class. Okay, like we are trying to make class as a public, and this is the external class. Okay, and external class can have only two kind of modifiers. One is public, another is default. Whatever the properties you are going to take as part of the classes now, you must make them private. Okay, if you will make them private, definitely they are secured enough and they can be accessed throughout the within a class only. They cannot go outside of the class. So what we have did for those three properties, like I'm saying employee is a class, so employee ID, employee name, employee salary, we have created the setters and getter method if you observed here. Okay, at the same time, if you see, I have created the here one kind of constructor which is containing the all the parameters into the property of this particular class. On top of that, I have provided default constructor. So what exactly I did instead yesterday, guys, if you have not if you have created a parameterized constructor now, then compiler will not automatically create the default constructor. You need to create a default constructor. And one more thing, whenever a default constructor is getting created now, that is only package label. So I made this constructor as a public. So it will be available outside of the class, and I can create the object in any place. This is the example, and this is a very basic class. I was trying to explain how we can use the okay. So first of all, this is a very basic class. Even I explained it very. Now we are using the primitive data type. So this is going to be the primitive data type, and if I make it a small double, this is the primitive data type. So most frequently you guys have facing the interview question. What is the interview question? Is Java is a pure object-oriented programming language or not? So and Java is a pure object-oriented programming now, because from Java 5 onwards we having the respective double classes. Okay, so instead of having the double, it will be automatically converted into the double. When you say instead of integer, it will be automatically integer into fraction. That's why all our data types are going to be treated like classes. Okay, and this way Java will be treated like a pure object oriented. On top of that, I also explained you guys why we have kept the toString method, because this is the major object here, and major object properties must be printed, because if you are not going to create a toString method, we are going to get hash code of that particular class, employee class. So if even you have seen this one, I have imported this code from the GitHub. So I uploaded my code over the GitHub account and just I imported it. So you can, no need to struggle. In case of you can simply right click and try to pull the code here, right? You can push the code also. You will get to know how exactly we can make it work out. And I will also show you how exactly, without knowing the GitHub knowledge, without having zero knowledge of GitHub also, how graphically you can work on it. The problem is here, once you will face the issue, you should have entire knowledge for the GitHub, but the basic thing like creating the project, uploading project over the GitHub account, importing the project is not that much problematic. Once you will find out some conflicts, once you find out some much kind of issues, then only you need to know GitHub. So I will let you know how exactly we are going to use some basic commands from the backend also. So if you see here, if I'm right clicking here, you may see you are getting this option, get GUI here and get bash here. So wherever you want to initialize the Git, you can use this. You need to install the software, basic software is there. As of now, no need to understand this thing. We can simply proceed further. So guys, yesterday I created the employee class. I followed all the standard which must be followed by creating the simple employee class. I have created a default constructor. I have created the parameterized constructor. I asked some cross questions also. Okay guys, who have not even have seen my video which I have uploaded over the YouTube, they can look into it. Okay, so let me have some cross questioning, and I hope Sanjay may able to answer it. Okay, so Sanjay joined yesterday with us, and so Sanjay should be able to answer it. So Sanjay, can you please confirm me the default constructor will come automatically or not when I will use the parameters constructor?
No, Lucky. Default constructor is not
Right. So
automatic
yeah.
parameter.
Yeah, so this is one of the interview question. Whenever you're trying to have the parameters constructor, the default constructor will not be automatically created by the Java. You need to create a separate default constructor. On top of that, it will not be the public. I made it public, but it will not be the public. It will be default one only. Okay, I would like to show you how exactly things are going to work out. Suppose I'm saying I'm just creating one class here. Okay, the class name is student. Class name is student. If I have created class like a student, automatically the class student class become public. Why? Because I created the independent student class here. I have not mentioned any, means I have created independent file for the students. It's automatic become public. Now if I'm mentioning some parameters here, what kind of parameter? I'm saying like let me do private. Okay, I'm private integer. So here guys try to use some control space so it will reduce your efforts. Okay, I'm saying stu. See guys, I will never follow, means I will follow all the standard. I will never do the coding like a, or I will not write a single piece of code without following the standard, because in this way only you will get more visibility how exactly things you need to follow as part of your coding. Everything we are going to do the live coding. Okay, string, and I will teach you how exactly you can use the so stu name. Like this you can mention, but you need to follow the naming convention. Every time I'm following some, try to have at least three property as part of your class. Okay, I'm saying student I'm giving here double. To double, I'm trying to use the score. If you see guys here, I am using the wrapper classes. Why I'm using the wrapper classes? Want compiler to do the auto boxing or unboxing. I should follow the standards from the beginning itself. I should not create a more burden over the compiler. Okay. Suppose now what I would like to do, I have created this student class here. Now I save this student class and let me do one thing, right click. Okay. This is the system explorer. Now if you see, I would like to do CMD here. I'm saying CMD. Now what happened? It given me the path where my command prompt has been opened. Now what I need to do, Java Next tab. So student.java can I compiled it. I have only three properties. I did nothing. Now I compiled it. Now you need to identify what are the default standard has been followed as part of the student class. So I'm saying Java P. Java P means profiler, and I'm trying to get the student. So here student.class, not only student is sufficient for you. Try to type it here. Okay. So what you are able to see by default here, this student class Java has been compiled. You may see this class is a package is showing the package here. Even it's showing you the public com.sony the student. See, this is the default constructor has been created by the Java. I have not created default constructor. If you see here, the default constructor has not been created by me, but this default constructor has been created by the Java compiler itself. Okay. Even I have mentioned only here, if I'm not mentioning, means it's not showing you any kind of variables as of now, because I have not used them at all. Okay. Even I would like to show you one more thing here, guys, because I know you are not aware about such kind of stuff. That's I'm repeating the same thing. Now, while you will create the interface also by default following lots of standard. I'm saying I would like to create the interface of what? I'm saying I would like to create the interface of okay, RAM we covered, hard disk we covered. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me cover the what else is important in case of our laptop, hard disk. Okay, I'm saying as of now, I'm saying company. Okay, company, I'm just creating the interface. If you see again, the interface automatically become public. Now let me create two variables here. I'm saying I cannot use the unappropriate modifier. Let me show you. If I'm saying private uh, company, it's saying illegal modifier. So it will ask me to remove the modifier. Okay. So why it will show you such kind of error? Let me first of all, okay, type here string. I will show you here, it will say invalid modifier. I need to remove it. So by default, I removed it. Now what you guys may be thinking, is this is become the default one. No, this is not the default one. This is the public one. I will show you how. Okay. I'm going to tell you how exactly we are trying to achieve the loose coupling. And today my agenda is to let you know how exactly the Spring is working internally for the IOC for the dependency injection. So That's why it's showing the things over the red color. Okay, so no need to worry, it will solve automatically. And now I'm trying to create one method. It is the variable name. Okay, and you may see in I have not provided the public or final or something like that. Nothing I provided as part of variable. It's automatically like this. Now let me come to the method. I'm saying company. So company, I'm saying company, uh, company. Okay. Method name. I'm saying void. Okay. Void. I'm saying company status. Now I have said both of the things, guys. Okay. Now what I would like to do here, I just would like to go to this place, company. I would like to show over the system explorer. Okay. Why I'm showing you this option, guys? Because this is the very basic question and they're asking in terms of fresher and even in terms of experience also you may not able to answer them. Now we are saying we are compiling every time the class. Now no, we are compiling the interface also, right? So Java C, I would like to search company. So I will say company is tab. Now what is showing error? What is being expected? So if you see, guys, here as part of the interface you cannot simply have the variable. You need to make some value assigned to that particular variable. So I need to assign some variable name. Suppose I am saying company name. It's a string, right? I need to keep the double quotation. As of now, let's say this is the company. Okay. Guys, if you see, this is always looking for the variable assignment. I just created the variable assignment. I need to run it again. I'm just going to run it again. Okay. Now, what I would like to do, I would like to check if this age, what exactly standard has been followed here. First of all, you need to focus here. If you see here, you are not mentioned public protected final something, nothing has mentioned here. Also, I have not mentioned any public, but I'm just doing Java P. You see, it's become public static file in the company name. In the company name, did I provide it public static file? No, it is automatically creating like this. See, did I provide it public abstract as part of the method? But no, it's standard which is following as part of the interface. Because of this only we are trying to achieve the loose coupling. Because interface cannot be implemented directly. Interface need to be implemented by the class, then only loose coupling can be achieved. So this is some standard which is following by the interface and the class which I have shown you just now. Okay, for class also I have shown you, for the interface also I have shown you. Okay, what exactly we did yesterday? We tried to achieve some loose coupling. How exactly we were trying to achieve the loose coupling? So this is my main class. As part of main class, if you observe the very simple way, we are trying to create the object using employee even is equal to new employee. Okay, so whenever I'm using like this, by default I'm using the default constructor, and whenever I'm using the default constructor, definitely I'm going to have some empty values for those particular stuff. Okay guys, you also need to learn the shortcuts. I'm going to show you how that you can apply the shortcut. So first of all, select all this code here, okay, till here, and press this button. It is called control slash. If you will press this button, automatically most of the things will be commented. No need to write separate, and now you can simply proceed further and run it as a Java application. So what happened here? You may be able to see all default values has been assigned. See, this is the this was the default. This is the double type. We are able to see the double type. We are able to see the empty name, which is null, and we are able to see the employee ID is 0. But the default values has been assigned because the default constructor is being called here. Okay, I mentioned the default constructor, that is public constructor. If you observe here, I was having the default constructor which is public here. I can make it without public also, but it will not create me any problem. But this constructor will work out in terms of class level, in terms of package level only. Okay, package level. Let me run it again. So guys, you must observe constructor can be default or constructor can be public. So here you may be able to see the things. Okay. Now I would like to work on this particular step. Again, press the same button, control slash. Automatically the command has been removed. Backslash, you know guys, right? We are using this one. Now what I'm doing, I'm using some parameters constructor here. I'm trying to print the value. So just I'm trying to run it here. So I'm able to see I'm getting some value. So both kind of things are getting covered here. I'm trying to have this in the default constructor values, which was the 0, parameter constructor, which we are able to achieve here. Now come to the thing. I would like to use some setters and getter method which I have created here. Okay, so I'm just uncommenting this one. Again, control slash, automatically all comment has been gone. Actually, I'm using all three approaches because they are going to work out for you. So if you see here, see, I use the setters and getter method here. This is the setter getter method. This is the parameter constructor here. This is the default constructor. So as part of class, we are going to use all three mechanisms. If you observe here, I have created the parameter constructor. I have created the default constructor. I have created the method has been overwritten. That's why I'm able to see such kind of what to say output. If I'm trying to just comment it out, okay, so let me select here. First of all, select like this. Again, slash. This has been commented now, and now tell me right means let me execute this particular thing. Okay, so Java program. See what is you are able to see hash code. All are hash code only. So I like to print the value. That's why I kept here the toString method. Again, control slash. See, now you are able to see the what to say output. Okay, so now I will try. I would like to achieve the loose coupling. How exactly loose coupling can be achieved? So guys, one of the most important question is how exactly you can achieve the loose coupling. So you need to remember only one statement. What is the statement? When you are dealing with the class, this comes under the tight coupling. Whenever you are dealing with the class, employee is also a class and this employee is also a class. Both are the class. Whenever you are dealing with the class, that comes under the tight coupling. And when you are dealing with the class plus interface, that comes under the loose coupling. How exactly? Let me show you here. So if you see, this hard disk is nothing but the interface. See, this is the interface of the hard disk. Okay, and if you see this HDD, it is nothing but the one kind of class which implement the hard disk. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to implement the hard disk as part of the HDD. HDD is my class and hard disk is my interface, and I'm implementing it. So okay, how many implementations are there for this particular hard disk? So I have two implementations. Okay, where are two implementations? Something hard disk can be SSD or hard disk can be HDD. Okay, HDD stands for the normal hard disk and SSD stands for the fast, very fast hard disk. So nowadays every laptop is using the SSD, which is increasing the performance. Kind of object I need, just that object I need to pass here. So I would like to first of all create the object of the hard. That's why I use the hard disk reference and I pass the object which is HDD. So I have created this object. If I'm trying to pass the HDD, okay, so it is going to pass this particular sheet. So what is happening? What kind of object I want that I will going to create here, but always I will try to maintain the reference of the interface. So this interface reference can help me out, and whatever things are required, I can simply call and I can simply use them. Okay, what exactly access method having? Access method is the actually part of your interface and a class to provide implementation of this particular method. Even on top of that, I am seeing interface having one more variable which is known as price. The price value will always be same because it's a constant, it cannot be changed. So if I would like to access it here, I'm seeing h1. So see, it is going to print me the value, but problem is here you cannot print like this. So you need to use some sysout variable, so it will print the value. So you need to understand you cannot have the things at the same time. Okay. Now, so if you see, in this way we are trying to achieve the Luch coupling. Luch coupling we are trying to see. If you see, it's the STT, STT. I can comment this out. I don't want this one, so I can comment it out. So I am simply able to see the things which I need as part of the hard disk. So you want the hard disk for HDD or you want for SSDD. Whatever you want that implementation you can directly use it. Okay, this was happening in terms of hard disk. Now if I talk about the RAM, so the old RAM was DDR3, the new RAM is DDR4. Okay, so I have created the RAM interface and trying to use the reference of RAM interface and trying to choose the object of the implementation class, which is the DDR3 or DDR4. So whenever the requirement will come into the picture, I will whenever you will try to have the class level in communication, object creation, both at the same time. If you see employee, both are the class, then it's become whenever I'm trying to use the interface, and this is the class, this is the interface, this is the class. Okay, so in this way I'm trying to achieve the loose coupling. So guys, this is the code which is perfectly working and you are able to implement each and everything, okay, and from the loose coupling perspective. Now let me try to achieve some loose coupling, or let me try to see what one of the biggest mistake I'm doing here. I'm using the new keyword. Means responsible person who is creating the object. I am not supposed to create the object. Who should create the object? Spring should create the object. So how is the object being created by the Spring? So first of all, let me use this application. Guys, do you want to ask any question here? Let me check. Okay. Guys, ask any question if you have in your mind. Anybody would like to ask any question here? Ria, Sanjay, Goodly, anybody would like to ask any question here? No? Guys, are you there? Guys, are you there? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Lucky.
Okay, fine. Okay, you guys are pinging. Okay, I have not observed. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So let me proceed further. This is the very basic thing. So I don't want to create the complexity. You should have some energy. So right now you understand I am just using the Junjuna to motivate you, but later point of time things are going to be very critical, very high level. Okay. So okay, as of now it's fine. Now what exactly I would like to do? I would like to look into the concept of spring. So in the spring, if you observe, let me remove it. Okay, so guys, first of all, you know aware about like we have the containers. Okay, what kind of containers? Spring containers. We know spring container. We have the spring container first of all. Okay, spring container. Spring container can be of two types. What is the first type? I'm saying bean factory. Bean factory. Another one we have in the application. So let me give you the visibility here. What is the use of bean factory or what is the use of application context? The bean factory is just simply trying to create your beans as part of the spring. You need to understand the bean is different and object is different. Okay, you are just trying to have the beans as part of the spring. You are not trying to create the object. Object creation can be controlled by the spring. Okay, how is it singleton? You can have the prototype, you can have the session, you can have the request. All those are the pattern and the way you can create the object. But basically, I'm just talking about bean factory is mainly dealing with the beans, which is known as the spring beans. Okay, an application context is the next level of the what to say the object creation. Okay, and this can be help you to achieve the I18 and I18. And if you have heard about the internationalization, suppose I am in India location, so India location I can have the English, but if I will try to open the same website as part of the Germany, it will show me in German location. If I will try to open as part of my France, it will show me in France language. So all those kind of things is going to be maintained with the help of I18 and application. You will get to know some resource bundles, you will get to know some local variable, you will get to know some system variables which are going to help you out to achieve such kind of stuff. So okay, so what is your target here? You don't want to create object like this, employee is equal to new employee. This is not your target. Okay, because we are doing one of the biggest mistake here. What is the biggest mistake? That we are trying to create the new key, we are trying to use the new keyword. What Spring is doing, Spring is not creating the, you are not, means you are not supposed to create the object. Who is supposed to create the object? Spring is supposed to create the object. So what, how exactly I'm doing? Employee is equal to context dot get bean. I'm just passing the this E1. Suppose this has been written as part of XML file, and I'm saying employee dot class here. So see who is creating the object. I'm not creating the object. I'm simply getting the object from the Spring. Okay, one more thing, guys. Here you may aware about this. We have the XML in the way we can configure the bean. We have the annotation. Okay, help of that you can configure annotation. Okay, annotation, we can have the beans and we can have a Java. With the help of that also we can have the Spring Beans. So we have all three patterns. With the help of that we can have the beans as part of our requirement. Okay, so guys, if I'm talking about E1 is nothing but I'm saying I have one XML file where I have in the bean tag. If you remember, the bean tag is there. As part of bean tag I'm providing the ID is like E1. I'm providing this ID E1 here, and I'm providing the class. So class should have the fully qualified name. com.sony dot employee. Okay? Employee. So like this kind of thing has been configured as part of your Spring. Okay, I'm just talking about XML now. Okay, so I'm thinking like we having the setter method, we having the getter method, we having the constructors also. So suppose I would like to go proceed for the next level. So what is the next level? If I'm saying constructor with dependency is there, right? So first of all, let me come to the properties. So I'm saying properties. Properties. Okay, so we have such kind of tags where you can properties. Okay, we have such kind of tag where we can mention the things which need to be covered as part of setter method injection or getter method injection. So first of all, need to understand two terminology here. Okay, one of the most important interview question, IOC and DI. Okay, so IOC means inversion of control, means I'm not creating the object. Who is creating the object? Spring is going to create the object. Okay, one more example I would like to give you. Suppose one teacher is there. Okay, he would like to have a car, means he would like to clean his car on a daily basis. He would like to have his car always to be shiny. Okay, but he's a teacher and he's every day spending his 30 minutes of time to wash the car. So what I want, I know this pupil is more worthful person. He is not supposed to do this task. He can convert this particular activity into the productive work. So what I have did, I hired one person who is going to clean his car, or in even this teacher is going to provide some training to some other people. So what I have did, I have arranged the 30 minutes of training to the people who is looking for such kind of training with the help of the teacher, and I hired someone else who is supposed to clean the car. Okay, so what I have did, I have just means I have diverted the responsibility of the creating the object. So I'm not creating the object, Spring is creating the object for us. Okay, so I'm not using the new keyword here. Here Spring is going to create the object for us. So it can be done in a different way. XML bean factory, XML bean guys, XML application context, right? XML class path, XML application context, class path, XML application context kind of object you guys are creating, and then only you guys are trying to have the application context. Like this, you are trying to have that creation of that context, and then you are trying to assign this name. Then this way you are trying to have the object. Okay, what is the dependency injection here? If you are understanding inversion of control, then what is the dependency injection? Dependency, I am seeing this, I have given you the example of the laptop. I have the laptop. Okay, laptop. Okay, I have the hard disk, and I have the RAM, and I have the processor. Okay, process. Okay guys, so laptop cannot be start until processor is active, until RAM is active, until hard disk is active. So first of all, for starting the laptop, first of all the processor should be starting, and then it will keep some instruction from the RAM. Okay, it will keep instruction, means processor will start, it will load the OS from the hard disk, and it will keep over the RAM. Then only your laptop is going to be started. So what is happening internally, we are able to see some dependencies are there. So before laptop will start, all those tasks need to be done. This kind of thing is going to be taken care of by Spring, which is not the dependency injection. Whatever required dependency is there, that is going to be taken care. And for creating of this dependency injection, inversion of control is going to be used, because you are not supposed to get the object of the processor, you're not supposed to get the object of the RAM, you're not supposed to get the object of the hard disk. You are supposed to use the laptop. For using the laptop itself, processor object is going to be created automatically, RAM object is going to be created automatically, hard disk object is going to be created automatically, and in what sequences need to be created, such kind of things are going to be taken care internally with the help of Spring. So here, what is the advantage here? See, I'm not creating the object here, so I'm not having any kind of issue related to the tight coupling, because in case of tight coupling, you cannot change the implementation later point of time. But once we have the XML file, we have the configuration, we can change the value from there. I can provide some default value to there. Okay, I don't have any kind of hard coding. I got some visibility in terms of configuration, in terms of annotation, in terms of Java. So guys, I have conducted another session where I have shown the real-time project. As part of real-time project, we will have all kind of requirement where we are trying to get all kind of being using the XML, using the annotation, using the Java. I'm going to show you that particular real-time project. Actually, this is my new laptop, and it's totally neat and clean. It's having nothing. So I will download from my external hard drive, and then you will be able to see that particular project. So I have not installed anything as of now. That that I'm going to show you, but this is the way we are, this I would like to explain. So I think so you got the visibility, what is the inversion of control, what is the dependency injection, how exactly the object is being created as part of your Spring, and we are trying to use the XML class path application context. We are trying to use the file application context. So whenever you have any doubt related to the Spring, I will suggest you one of the simplest website is you first write tutorial point, tutorial point, okay, and I'm just writing here Spring, okay. So one of the very basic thing is Spring, so it will go to the Spring core only, okay. Just click on the here only. If you see one of the very basic things, you will be able to see how exactly Spring is trying to maintain some POJO classes. POJO classes means plain old Java object, okay. It's having the modular programming. You have seen it's trying to maintain different models, means JDBC is there, or we have the MPC is there, AOP is there. If we have the integration with the help of different kind of things, you may not heard about the Quartz. Quartz is related to the, what to say, job kind of stuff, scheduling jobs, okay. It is also known as the cron job. You can have integration with your ORM technologies, which is known as the Hibernate. You can have the logging framework like a log4j, SLF4j, okay. We have the testability because we are trying to use the loose coupling. So with the help of loose coupling, dependency injection is going to be very convenient to us, so we can test the code in very efficient way. We are trying to use the MVC, where model view controller. This is one kind of standard, and this is going to help me out to identify which request is coming from where, how exactly we can maintain them, how exactly we can control them. Okay, we have the central exception handling. So one of the best thing in terms of Spring is it's having its own exception handling mechanism, where you will have the exception which is going to help you out. Like exception is thrown by the JDBC or shown by the Hibernate or Java database objects, you will get to know about it. Even it's a transaction management. So global transaction management, local transaction management, Java transaction management, or this all those, and it's a lightweighted also. You're not going to get more heavy jar files. It's a very small 4 to 5 MB jar file. Even if you have heard about one, uh, what to say, I forgot the name. What is that? One framework was there which was very heavyweight. Okay, and that framework was very horrible. He was very, that framework was very heavy enough. I will let you know that name of that framework. But Spring is one of the best framework as of now as part of the market. Okay, let me proceed further. Let me show you. It's explaining me each and every concept here. Okay, and I would like to show you something here. Yeah, so this is the modular based stuff, JDBC, ORM, all those are the category wise things are there. And right now we are dealing with this core container, beans, core, context, special extraction, and everything is sitting on top of the testing. So one of the best thing about the Spring is like it's providing the dependency injection. Dependency injection is one kind of design practice you need to understand. Okay, so what is your one kind of assignment I can say to you? You can have this Hello World program ready from your side. Okay, I'm going to tell you how things are working out. You are already aware about how exactly you can work on it, but here I just would like to show you. Here, if you see, this is the Hello World program, and I having only one variable which is known as the message. It's having the private stuff, and I'm trying to use the setters and getter method. On top of this, just I'm trying to create the object. So I'm using the object of class path XML application context, and I'm reading the bean.xml file. I'm using the beans.xml file. Create the beans.xml file. Let me show you guys. This is the beans.xml file. Okay, I'm going to show you guys as well. So this is the XML configuration. As part of XML configuration, I shown you the bean ID class, okay, and the property. So I'm using the property. I'm using the setter getter. So whenever I'm using the setter getter, this is the way to write the XML file. This is the way to do the things, and in this way, you are supposed to have the application which is perfectly running here. So see, in this way, I'm getting object context.getBean. I'm getting the object of Hello World. Hello World is nothing but the class, but I have given the ID name is Hello World here. Okay, so if you see here, that this is the class name and this is the ID I have given. So I am not supposed to use the new keyword here. Spring is created the object and giving to me. So first of all, I need to create the object of the Spring container, which is creating here, like application context is equal to new class path XML application context. Why class path? Because this Hello World has been created and this XML file is available as part of your class path in the source folder only. This is available as part of source folder. I'm going to show you this thing as well. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing here, and you're trying to have the message, you're trying to print the message. So I hope guys you can follow this first 5 pages. Okay, this is the first 5 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First 5 pages are there, which is going to help you out to create a very basic Hello World application as part of the Spring, and it is letting us know how exactly you can achieve the loose coupling using the XML configuration. If I come to the IOC container is not talking about nothing, but it is going to talk about the how exactly Spring having the bean factory container, how exactly Spring having the application context. So what is the disadvantage as part of the bean factory? What is the advantage as part of your Spring context? We are going to cover all those things slowly. Anybody would like to ask any questions? So I hope so. You can follow till the bean definition. Okay, you can sorry, bean IOC containers. You can follow till this level. It's a very basic thing as part of the Spring, and everything is going to be covered, everything is going to be taken care. So guys, anybody would like to ask any question here? Sanjay, you would like to ask any question here? You have any doubt? Sanjay, you would like to ask any question here?
No, Lucky. No any question, man, sir.
Everything is fine, everything is clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ria, would you like to ask any question here as part of the code, whatever we did as of now? I just shown you how exactly the loose coupling concept is being implemented in terms of Spring also, right? So first we have seen in terms of Java, and later we are seeing in terms of the Spring as well. Ria, anybody having any question?
Yes. No.
No question?
No
Okay.
questions.
So first of all, guys, you can do one thing here. Just go through the first 5 till IOC container. You can go through the theory here. It is going to help you out to understand each and everything as part of the Spring. One of the very basic things. I'm not hurry anybody. Okay. Spring container ready for the application. I will get and we will discuss from tomorrow onwards related to the Bean factory. How exactly Bean factory, their Bean definitions are working properly. Okay guys, so this is the plan. Actually we are not rushing, means we are not trying to have a more long duration because it will be more burden for you guys, but I will let you know how exactly the class is being created, how exactly auto wiring is happening, how exactly lazy initialization is happening. And one of the most important thing guys, you are learning maybe the annotation, you are learning maybe the Java based implementation, but your project where you are going to work out, definitely the XML understanding is must. You should know the XML based things, all those things. You are able to see the class, the name, the scope, the constructor argument, all those are will be the part of your XML file. Okay, let me show you here. If you come to Hello World application now, in this Hello World application, if you go to the XML file here, see in XML file, this one, see, so this is the bean, this is the property, this is the class, this is the value. Okay, like this kind of is, you are able to see the scope also. What is the scope? It's a singleton or prototype. Okay, most of the things you are going to do through the annotation as well, but guys, you need to understand one thing here. The annotation will fine, it's going to help you out, but most of the time the projects are legacy projects. Okay, you are going to use the constructor argument in terms of whenever you would like to go for constructor based dependency injection. Auto wiring also having the time by name, by type. Okay, you are able to see the lazy mode. So lazy mode by default is true here. Lazy initialization, you can make it false. Okay, so I will let you know how exactly the lazy loading is happening, how exactly the illegal loading is happening, how exactly this construction can be happen, Spring Boot life cycle, Spring life cycle, everything I'm going to explain slowly. So I hope so guys, this was a very simple session.